Hello, the exploding miner. How are you doing today? Hey, Steve Wood. I just posted it right this second. I just went live right now. I just put it on Discord right this second. Okay, I think everything's all set up now. So today we are going to continue working on the villages and making them look better. This is already a much better layout than what I left the last stream with. I worked on it a little bit off stream, so this is already like much better. I'm probably gonna do some modeling. I'm gonna fix all the broken models. So like somehow I fucked up the window on this model. So that window for some reason, I think it's a back face. I think it's the issue with that one. But a couple of models have issues. I'm gonna add more models, especially like small merchants, like little stands and stuff. I don't think I really have any models for those. You can see here I accidentally moved that vertice. And then also I gotta figure out the bug for the awnings. They used to scale appropriately. Thank you, the exploding miner. I keep wanting to read that as exploding gamer. I don't know why, like dyslexic or something. But yeah, the awnings used to scale, so like this would scale in, so it was just over the doorway. But I obviously broke that somehow. Don't really want to be in this biome, but I guess it doesn't really matter. We're just testing out villages and getting them looking good. I gotta have a special tile for this area. One, to have the curb match up, right? But then also I want to allow decorations and stuff to spawn on the side. My name's Vibe is too crisp for you to read properly. Yep, that must be what it is. I'm probably just gonna end up saying exploding, which I'm sure you're fine with, right? Yeah, this is doing with the new designer. So, I mean, not that I couldn't do this with the old designer, it's just easier to visualize everything. I still don't have all the things I want with my new designer. So this is the designer tool that I built, right? To more easily create layouts. I am probably going to this stream try to fuck around with height adjusts in the village, so we can have certain areas that are higher and miners the usual. Okay, that's better, right? Sorry, I'm so dumb. I couldn't think of that on my own. But I probably am going to mess around with different height adjusts for the village, so we can have like a staircase that goes up to a slightly higher part of the village. I think that would help with things. Ideally, I guess how we do it is have the actual terrain adjust, but I'm not going to start out with that, which means the taller part of the village has to be towards the center. But maybe that's okay. We'll have to mess around with it and see what it's like. Okay, so first things first, let's fix the awning bug, because that will help with things. And I want to write down some notes as well. All right, so notes. We'll move what we're doing today. Let's move that down here. Okay, so working on villages. We want to fix awning scale bug. Mess around with Y adjust or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but I probably will know what that means. Hopefully, you should play some light jazz music in the background. Maybe I used to play music in the background and then I stopped. I mean, I had to find like public domain stuff, which for jazz probably wouldn't be too hard. Maybe I'll set that up for like the next stream. But I would definitely want it to be instrumental. You know, I wouldn't want any vocals because that really doesn't go well with narration. So I'd have to find the right stuff and then hope that, because I'm streaming on three platforms right now, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube, I'd have to hope YouTube's shitty algorithm doesn't detect it as like a copyright strike, even if it's public domain, because YouTube sucks. So fencing around the edges, a new feature. I've had them in the past, and then I broke the village layout, so they got taken back out. So they were there at a time, but you might not have ever seen them because that time might have been when I wasn't streaming. They also need to be remodeled a little bit better because they're a little flat and stuff, and I don't love the color and stuff on them. But yeah, they're new-ish, I guess. YouTube is pretty trash. Yeah, I know. Alright, so mess around with Y adjusts. Add smaller merchants like stands. I also feel like I should probably show Miner around the game a little bit, since I'm assuming they haven't really seen it, right? Instead of just fucking around with just villages. Alright, add smaller merchants. I guess that's all I can think of right now. We're gonna add to this later on. Later on today, inside just not really necessarily villages, but merchants in general, I would like to improve, if I could type at all, improve indoor layouts. If I can go outdoors, see if this is okay to do. Yeah, pretty new. Okay. Oh fuck, I forgot that's a bug that I gotta fix for the village builder. I mean, it's not a bad thing because the village builder is just a dev tool, so as long as I fuck around with the dev tool and then refresh, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you should do proper fences with wooden planks. Yes, I should. One thing that would maybe make me not want to do that is that it'd be a lot more polygons. Thank you, Miner. Yeah, it would be a lot more polygons, so that would make me a little bit more wary to do that. But I definitely wouldn't do it so it's just fences like all the time. I'm probably gonna have it so each village has their own random seed. So then certain villages will randomly decide to have fences. Some will have brick walls. Some will have stone walls. Some will have, I don't know, other types of walls. I'm gonna change the biome for Miner because I don't like to show off the game in the taiga biome because it's like one of the lesser done ones. It's actually like probably the second most done one, but temperate biome is the best looking. So I'm gonna teleport to temperate, and then I'm probably gonna have to refresh again because it takes forever to buffer in after I teleport. I guess I'll write down Stevoid's idea here. More wall types. And why is it that sometimes when I teleport to temperate, okay, I guess because I'm nearby a temperate biome. This is a marsh biome right here, but I'm near temperate. All right, as long as it auto-saved, which it should have by now, I can do a hard refresh, and then I don't have to worry about teleportation as bad. Can I have a quick explanation of the game? I'm a bit shit at explaining it, but have you ever played Animal Crossing? Because the gameplay is kind of going to be like Animal Crossing, where you can, collect lots of different things around the world, and then for the most part sell those things at stores to then decorate your buildings and houses and all that. That's a very, very simplified explanation. The world is infinite and procedural. So every world is unique, and all your models are pretty much unique as well. You can see if I put on my net, I have to wait for this terrain to load in. Well, I don't have to, but it'll look better if I wait. It should only take like 5 more seconds. But it's still not. There we go. Okay, so like for example, we have this net, right? So I can wave my net around and try to catch some bugs, hopefully, if I'm not super shit at my own video game. Okay, so you know, I can take that bug and then go into a town, sell that bug, and then buy some furniture or a building, and then purchase, you know, a property, place down my house, decorate my house. That's for the most part it. We're gonna have lots of little mini games as well. I could show you a couple that I've implemented. It's also going to be a very seasonal thing. Hold on, I got a text message. So unprofessional, right? But yeah, I want the game to play very differently throughout real time year. So like right now I'm wearing some fucking Chrome with their input bugs. Hold on. Okay, so right now I'm wearing bunny ears, but all the villages will be decorated Eastery at you know around Easter time. I know it's a little bit past Easter, but they'll be decorated Eastery around Easter time, Christmassy, Halloweeny, etc. Um, I just made a mini game for Easter time. So if I go to game.minigame, whoops, mini games. I'm not gonna actually finish this, but so it's actually a really easy pattern. Okay, normally the pattern on the left here will be a more complicated pattern, but I left that one in kind of for debug purposes. So maybe I'll finish this one. But you can see this is like one of the mini games where we would normally obviously not activate this via console, but we'd go into a village in like somebody's house or something, and you know the NPC would be like, help me paint some eggs or some shit. I don't know. Why did that one work? Oh, because I didn't paint this side. Okay, but once I'm done painting this, it should exit out of the mini game and detect that I painted it correctly. Yes. Okay. And then you know there'd be dialogue with the NPC that you get some sort of reward. Let me read chat so I know what I missed. Nature theme, wooden fences, be a better chance than brick walls. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, there's multiplayer, which Steve had answered. It's pretty shit right now, but it's a thing. Yeah, and see what said you can play at friendly.com. You can, but just keep in mind, depending on the specs of your machine, it might run really terribly right now, especially because I have a bunch of extra shit in there going in console I need to get rid of. So it might, like, if you're like on a laptop or even a desktop, spin your fans up really fast. You might not get great FPS. It just depends on your specs, and since I haven't fully optimized everything yet, I could try to show you. Oh no, I'm not going to do that because it's a pain doing console. Um, there's a few other mini games. I'm not going to show them off right now. All right, so hopefully I can find a village nearby. Oh, there's a fire tower right here. I could show it, but you know, no, we got to focus. Fine, I'll do it really quick, just for you, Miner. You have a pretty decent machine. Okay, so hopefully it won't run too shit. You'd be surprised how terrible my game is with optimizations. So it still might run a little shit, but hopefully it won't run too shit. All right, so this is our other mini game at Fire Towers where we control this little airplane, and we have to put out the fire, and it continues spreading around and stuff. I'm not going to beat this one either. Well, actually, I did beat the Easter one, but I'm not going to beat this one because it takes too many minutes and it's not our primary focus. What are all those? Oh, I know what those warning logs are. We need to put that. We need to make UI for that eventually. All right. And obviously the player movement won't actually be like this. I just turned on my debug panel to make my player speed really fast to make things easier as a developer. Will there be a village nearby? That is the question. I probably could teleport to one because I think I have one saved in my map. Oh, maybe I don't. Probably should save one on my map next time I find one so I could teleport to it. Your PC really doesn't like loading. I wonder how it'll be after the load. Yeah, it's probably depending what you mean by load, but no matter what, it probably settles in like Steve White said. Probably shouldn't be walking around this fast. I guess it doesn't really matter, but things aren't going to load in that great. Just want to find a village again, hopefully in a temperate biome. Maybe I shouldn't have teleported. Maybe I should have grabbed the coordinates I was at. But I still didn't really like being in a taiga biome. So this is probably a good thing as long as I eventually find one. Taking a while to load everything in though. Well, it depends, Steve Boyd. I don't. It depends on a few things. Number one, it depends on exactly where that CPU usage is coming from, which I have a pretty good idea of. I'm pretty sure it's the web workers, almost exclusively. So given that, there are things we can do. I don't fully know how they'll work out, but as we've discussed in the past few streams, converting the web workers into a different language and then using WebAssembly to run the web workers, as long as we're allowed to have, both our main thread in JavaScript and certain workers in WebAssembly, that could help a lot. I can try to optimize my code because the web workers, when I say that, is basically, probably it's mostly coming from, I would say, sub-entity placements and generations, but possibly a little bit terrain, and possibly actually quite a bit grass placements. So I can go into that code, and there's probably some things I can do in there to optimize them. But assuming that most of the CPU usage is coming from there, which it probably is, especially because your CPU usage probably drops down quite a bit if the world is all your chunks are fully loaded, which you can kind of look in the debug panel, by pressing 3. If hold on, okay, it's pretty shit right now because I was running around so fast. But if all of these stop for like 10 plus seconds, right, and nothing's coming in on any of these 3 panels, for the most part, it's a pretty good indicator that not much is going on in the web workers. So if your CPU usage is basically much, much, much lower when these are not bringing any data in, then that means that pretty much all the CPU usage, that all those big spikes, are coming from these chunk builders, which means technically we might be able to optimize that. Maybe I can come up with better code for placing down models. Maybe I can come up with better checks for where we should place models. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with that. Maybe while I'm debugging this, I should turn my village spawns up like way higher. I always say that, and then I don't do it because I don't really want to. I just don't want to spend 10 minutes looking for a village. But next time I find one, I'm going to add it to my map so I can teleport back to it easily. This looks so terrible when I'm running around because there's like no grass and stuff. Come on, village. Maybe there's a village up here. It looks pretty flat. This might be for a village. Yes, awesome. Okay, so I will add this to my map so we don't lose it. And then places like here, since there's a bunch of trees spawning in at this entrance, I can add stuff to my village layout to block those spawns. Okay, so let's open up the map before I lose this. And I'll just name it, I don't know, village. Come on, map. Matt, please. There we go. Okay, so we have that saved. I won't lose it. I should probably even do a refresh, but it doesn't really matter. No, I will, because there's so much, from all that running around really fast, there's so much shit going on inside console. And I have the FPS capped at 30 right now, so it might look a bit shit. You can go into the settings and bring it up to 60, but things might behave weirdly. Okay, so fix awning scale bug. So we want to open up our villages file, probably just this one. We're gonna look at awning. Not there. Oh, that's awkward because awning and spawning are within the same words. Okay, here we go. Okay, so awning scale. We should have something with the layout. Let's load up our static model file. You don't have any problems FPS graphic wise, smooth is better. That's good to hear. I mean, I guess I don't either. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I do, especially at 60. Did I refresh? I don't remember. I think I might have. Yeah, I probably did because these input bugs. Yeah, okay, so it's still generating the world. After it generates, hopefully that'll go back up. And then also part of that reason that we have these big drops as well is because I'm streaming. It's probably not as bad if I'm not streaming. But since I just refreshed, these are going to be shit until it loads the game fully. Okay, so let's look at where we have awning in the models for the villages. So these names are pretty shit, and I'm going to have to move these to a separate file and stuff. But I thought at a time, not necessarily these ones. Okay, so for glass shop, we have our awnings position, right? XYZ, the spawn rate, and the scale. And for this one, we want our scale on our X to be 0.66. So then in here, we check if the model has awning. We check if that model's awning has scale. We set the scale. If the scale is just a number, we convert to a vector, otherwise we just use it. Okay, then what happens with scale after this? Then we want to do a subentity default buffer. Maybe I should space this out, at least for now, so we can make it a little bit more readable. See what's going on with scale. Maybe I took that out, or maybe, I don't know. We're going to find out. Leave X, Y, and Z alone. Okay, so scale is there. Right, this line's scale. Perhaps we can console log what those scales are returning and see if they're even getting those right. And then if they're getting those right, we have to figure out why they're not being passed through correctly in this function. We have this whole thing where if it's rotate, we flip that, but that should be fine. All right, so let's log console.log scale, right? And let's just see what is happening with that. In theory, we can do this inside our debug tool, and that might make things a little bit easier. Yeah, let's do that. So within our builder tool, if I paste our new function, and then let's change some of the data so it has to rebuffer. Okay, so, oh fuck, I did that by accident. Hold on. Let's see if I can fix this. Okay, it might be okay. I just accidentally left some things in my inventory. I should probably fix that bug eventually. Okay, as long as I don't have my net equipped, we're good. Okay, so those are logging sane values. You know, they're not all scale 1. We have like 0.6 on the Z for that one, so you've taken care in model creation to clean up the models and clean them simple, so no surprise. Yeah, but I still need to do more work at that. A lot of the lower LODs are still too high poly, especially like on the pine trees. I don't have a low LOD mesh for the pine tree like leaves part, like the needles part. The trunks are nice and low LOD, but there's a lot more work to do with that. Okay, so these are logging correctly, which is good. Fucking Chrome, man. Maybe I should be doing this in Firefox. But you can see here, wherever that went, here. This fucking Chrome. I gotta switch to Firefox. These fucking input bugs, man. If I go outdoors, it might help. I don't know. Why is it doing that so bad right now? It wasn't like this before, especially for being in this model builder. Maybe because my world isn't loaded outside fully. All right, but this red awning here, that's supposed to be scaling, so it's just the size of over the door. And we know the scale's right here. So that means inside our subentity default buffer function, the scale isn't being used properly in there. So let's open that file, which is part of. So if we go to subentities default.js, and we look at our buffer function, which is here, let's see what's going on with scale. Okay, so we do have a get model push with model scale, and model scale is the properties.scale times the scale multiplier or 1, and then properties.scale, no, it's fine, everywhere we're doing scale, should be the same stuff passed through here. So does that mean the issue is within get model push? All right, let's console log in here. Model scale. Would there be any advantage to loading the models per file rather than from a JS file? Probably not. Especially, it'd actually be much worse for the web workers. On the main thread, it might not matter that much. Because we have HTTP2, so it could just load up like each model file and it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But in the web workers, as we've seen, it has issues with file loading and loading lots of different files. So it'd probably be best if I put like everything in one file, which I kind of already am doing for the most part. All right, let's see if these are logging. Okay, so those are returning nan. That's very good. That's informative. So why are those returning nan? Let's have properties.scale also logging. Make sure it gets that properly. That might be okay. They're returning nan actually. Probably not, but we're returning scale for all of our model pushes. So if something else is using scale that's not awning, we're not explicitly logging awning in this case. In the first log we were, in the second one we're not. Okay, so here it equates out to nan, but our scale that it receives is 111. Let's see. Oh, but also for these ones. Okay, so we have a good idea what's going on. That means almost definitely it's this line that's getting fucked up. Oh, and that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because that will only work if our scale is not a vec3. Okay, that's good. That's a pretty good thing. I know how to fix this then. How I want to go about fixing it exactly, I'm not 100% sure, but in theory we can do something like this, and then if we want to make sure it then turns to a vec3, in theory they're always a vec3, but just in case they're not, so then if type of model scale, if that's a number, then we want this to be converted to a vec3. And then we want to, I guess, do each axis, which is a bit awkward. I should write a function. Whoops, that's just backwards. I should write a function for vec3 multiplication, but I mean, whatever. Hopefully our scale multiplier, I don't know where I'm using that. If this is passed through as a vec3, maybe I should be logging it. If this is passed through a vec3, we're gonna have to do a bit differently though. We're going to then have to do .xyz. I don't actually remember what we're doing with that or why we're doing that, but it should be fine. Okay, so now let's try this again, and this should work. Okay, so we're gonna place this down. Let's watch our red awning, right? So this red awning here. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we fixed that bug. That is, I believe, 100% done. So if we go into our notes, fix awning scale bug, 100% done. That didn't take too terribly long. I usually have another tab open up over here, and I don't remember what it is. Oh well. Oh, I know what it is. Hold on. My Twitch dashboard. I don't really need it open since I have the restream thing open, but I kind of like it open. Not that. Okay, yeah. So that didn't take too long to do. That bug is fixed. I also want to place down more of these lanterns. They might not be permanent placements really. And I need to build UI for this whole thing, but game.debug village.cursor.placement.I, and I think I don't remember what it is for the lanterns, but I'll find out in a second. I think it might be 5. Let's see, is that right? No, that's the walls. Maybe it's 4. This is why we need a UI. Nope. Shit, what is it? Is it 7? Nope. 3? Yes, it's 3. Okay. I'm gonna spawn these around. I need to have it so they work at nighttime so we can really visualize when these are, how much light they put off. I may also end up passing through metadata for some of these so we can like have a half placement so it brings it in over here. But I'm just gonna plop these down every so often. Yeah, I really want to have it so we can do corner placements. I can have it as a separate entity, or I could have it so we have metadata. I'm not sure what I'd prefer. Let's throw some in the corners. And once we have little merchants on the sides, I'll have a better idea where I want these. So this is all just somewhat wasteful, waste of time, but I don't know. I feel like we should have some of these in here. I'll just throw some in the corners here. I need to remodel that too because I hate my lantern model. Maybe I'll put that in our notes as well. I also need to write a better tool to import and export these. I mean, what we have works fine, I guess, but it's kind of shit. I'm gonna move this one back a little bit. All right, that is fairly okay, probably. Maybe one more, I don't know, here. I don't love it, but I'm probably gonna have ones that come off sides of buildings. There's a lot of work we have to do here. But let's export that so I don't lose my stuff. This should be long enough now that it has copy, which is actually makes life a lot easier. Then layouts. I'll probably end up building like a separate file for this and probably make life easier, but one thing at a time. This line could be deleted. This line could probably be deleted too, but whatever. And in theory, I guess we don't have to parse that anymore. We used to have to because of how. No, I guess we don't have to do it. I don't think we have to parse that. I think we can just throw it in like that. And then the stupid keys have quotes around it, but it doesn't really matter. All right, that'll make life easier probably. That should work. That should be okay. And there are, I believe, well, number one, I can just build a way to parse through that string, but we're going to do different compressions on it in the long term anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. But there are parameters you could pass through to the stringify function that I don't remember what they are, but basically, there's replacer and space. But there's a way that we can basically replace the quotes so they're not there, but it's really not a big deal. I'm going to build my own encoder and decoder for that save data. Okay, so let's see, what's in our notes? Smaller merchant stands. Should I go into Blender and mock something up that's really shit just to have real quick? In theory, that's the right size, right? Let me just look around here real quick. Yeah, so that would take up that size. That would be okay. All right, let's try to make something that hopefully will be okay looking. Let's scale at 3D cursor. Our 3D cursor should be zeroed out. It is. Okay, I'm gonna just make something kind of shitty really quick. Probably should do something with a mirror modifier for this. Hold on, let's keep that scaled up. No, let's not keep it scaled up, I lie. Let's spawn some cubes in. So I want to move my 3D cursor to selection. Let's spawn some cubes in. So these are going to be like these vertical supports on these little stalls that I'm making. Let's just get rid of that. Let's do mirror modifiers. We're going to need them. At least while we're modeling it, and then maybe we'll just apply it so we can get the poly count down. Not that it matters a whole lot. All right, so we want wherever the mirror is. Okay, that's good. So I can scale this down on, I guess bounding box is fine. I'm not 100% sure about what I want this to look like. Probably want to bring this, back a little bit. Bring this down, and then these faces are all gonna end up getting removed. I guess we could do that right away, so I don't forget. Okay, let's have another cube. I maybe should do this a bit more precisely and mathematical, but it doesn't really matter. I am doing it fairly okay. I'm not completely doing this stupidly. Just a little bit stupidly. All right, let's I guess clone this and then scale this way in. Do I want to have that face here? Maybe. Whoops. Okay, how do I want this to look? We need to grab that inside one, which is why these mirror modifiers aren't the best, but we'll just have to work with them for now. Whatever, that's fine. I might have gone a little overkill with how high quality this needs to look, but whatever. I don't love it anyway. Obviously this is too thick, but that's, you know, easy to change. We can actually I probably should have done the right thinness right away. It's still easy to fix, but not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I need to do each one of these as their own piece. It's a bit of a pain. So I need to go to individual origins and then fuck off. Well, I can either do this so it's very precise or just do it so it has a bit of waviness to it, which is probably okay because it'll look more organic. Since this is supposed to look like fabric basically. That was weird, but whatever. Proceed. Let's do a side orthographic view. Orthographic is that key? No, this key? Yes. All right, yeah, this is a better way to do this. Let's bring this one way up. Yeah, should have done it like this from the beginning. Maybe? I don't know. Does this look really stupid? I mean, definitely needs more detail added to it, but just as a beginning thing. I can never remember the fucking keys in Blender for this. Hold on. So 5 is to switch between ortho and perspective. And then 3 is the side view. Okay. All right. This thing definitely needs to be tweaked. Maybe I just want it so... Okay, I think I know what I want to do. I want to grab this face. Whoops. Bring it in. Do the same with this face. And then I want to duplicate, I guess, this one. Bring it back. Yes, like that. We can grab top of this. Scale it to 0. Bring it down. Yes, something like this. I guess I want these to be lined up. Let's just, fuck. All right, let's do that mathematically correct so it's centered. And then I guess I want this to stick out a bit. I don't know, it might look weird. Let's see. Fucking axes, man. Maybe that'll look okay. Alright, so these are going to go on the sides of these buildings with just little NPCs standing inside them, selling little things, you know? And we're not going to only have one model. We want lots of variety with shapes and colors. But something like that might look okay, right? Just little merchant stands. Maybe I should have that pole go all the way up to the top, but it really doesn't matter. I'll start out with this. I might not be happy with it for very long, but just to get something in the game, because right now I don't really have any model for it. I'm kind of hesitant to have all these back faces like I do. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's apply this modifier so we can reduce the poly count. Apparently I did that stupidly. If we do limited dissolve, god damn it. Okay, hold on. Before we, why is it applying? Hold on. Modifier, mirror. Why is there a weird overlap to it? So now if we go to this view and apply it, the fuck? Am I going over 0? Maybe I am. What are these at? Oh shit, I am. Okay. How did that happen? Okay, so we want these on, I guess, this axis? Yes, to be set to 0. Okay, now if we do a mirror modifier, and we apply it, and we do a limited dissolve, much better. No, there's still a weird seam though. Remove doubles? Weird. Alright, well, what if we just select all of these and do an edge dissolve? The fuck? I want to dissolve these edges. I want these connected. They're not connecting. What am I doing wrong in Blender? Let's go back. Mirror. It has merge on. We could turn our merge limit up, I guess. I think that's supposed to go this way, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't really matter, it's just to save a couple polygons. I just figured why not do it, right? Okay, well that's weird. What the fuck did I do to my camera? How is that even... Guys, what did I press in Blender to rotate this camera this way? Because I have no idea how to get it back. The fuck? What key did I do that with? The fuck? My camera's gonna be permanently rotated sideways. I hate Blender. I hate it so much. I don't even know what key did I press? What combination of keys and clicks caused this madness? Who would ever want their camera like this? Okay, hopefully if I just close the file and reopen it, it'll fix it. I kind of think it's not going to though. Alright, this is our merchant stand, we'll call it. I'll just name it 2 in case we have one already. I don't think we do though. Fuck off, Blender. Okay, hold on. If I just close Blender and then to reopen Blender. Maybe I should learn 2.8, even though I don't even know 2.79. And then, nope. Fuck. Any people that know Blender well in chat? How? I've never done this before. Now I'm just trying around things that are going to make it worse. Oh, I learned that. You can turn that on and off with that. I'm so fucking confused. Is there like camera in one of these panels that I can just like reset my fucking camera? Camera, but the problem is it's not going to be my viewport camera. It's going to be like the scene camera, which is not what we want. Align camera to view? No. No. That's for the scene camera. We don't want the scene camera. Get the fuck out of here. Viewport. Nope. I don't even know how to Google this. I guess I could try. It doesn't matter a whole lot, but goddamn. I've never done this before in my life in Blender. Oh, maybe this thing down here. That looks promising, but I don't know. I can't interact with it, so it's just a shell. Align camera to view. View. Okay, maybe something in here. Cameras. Oh, what if we do that? That'll reset it, right? Yes. Okay, cool. I got it. I'm smart. Okay, so that was a waste of time. But if we unwrap this with our view, so let's do a top-down view, like so. Do I have perspective on it? I guess it doesn't really matter. Unwrap that from our view. Go to our UV editing. Maybe I should do it with orthographic on, but we could always change it. It's not a big deal. All right, textures. Use our materials texture. Use that clothy texture. It wouldn't have that curve to it if I had done orthographic, but it doesn't matter a whole lot. Maybe I'll do a woody texture on these. Well, let's put everything. Let's grab every single face and make sure they're all in the same texture. And then let's grab, I may want, I don't know, everything will be woody on this. But these will be a different type. Okay. So then if we, let's just see if we do a smart UV project, maybe, maybe not. I could put a cut through them. Welcome back, Miner. I could put a cut through them, or I could just not care that much. I could do like, hold on, if I did this and I align this is kind of like a stupid hacky way to do this, but I don't really care enough. Whoops. This texturing doesn't even matter. Just get it in the game. And then worry about the little details. How sloppy can this get? Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I'm so lazy. You know what though? It fucking works. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. Maybe. It's a bit stretched, but hey Virtuous, how are you doing? Alright. I'm not gonna worry about this model too much. Let's just throw some vertex colors on it. And I probably want to randomize it. We could do that in a couple ways. I guess we could do it based off UVs. Glad to hear that, Virtuous. Okay, let's just go into our vertex painter and just throw on some really basic colors. I guess we could, what's the best way to do this? If I grab this, this is probably the best way to paint the sides. I don't know if I want the front and sides to be a different color. I guess I should. Yeah. So these will be much darker. And then the front and back will be darker, but not as dark as the sides. And then our bottom, I guess we will make full dark. Is that a big enough difference between those? Maybe not. You're desiring to kill Big Num package. It was working fine some time ago, and now it throws an error. I'm sorry. I don't know what Big Num package is, but I guess it's something you're working on, I guess, maybe. And if that's the case, I go through shit like that every single stream. So that's just every developer's life, right? You're not alone. Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. That's a bit ugly of a color that I chose. That's kind of uglier. I don't know what color I want this to be. Alright, whatever, that's fine. Alright, let's paint the bottom of this darker. Much darker. Let's paint the... Alright, so our sides are our darkest. I know it's stupid how I'm baking this in, but that's just how we're doing it. Until I decide to actually put normals into my game. And then these... either I'll make the... Let's make the top lighter, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Good enough for me to get something in the game. We need to triangulate it. Maybe I should work on merging the centerpieces because it's so stupid that they're not merged. I don't understand why they wouldn't be. I have an idea. What if I did this? Scale them on this to 0. Remove doubles. Why? And then we should be able to do an edge split. Oh, what if we, or edge, whatever it's called, dissolve. What if we did this one? Wait, I already tried this, didn't I? And it didn't work. For some reason. Let's do them one at a time. Dissolve edges. Why? Dissolve. Whoops, not that. Dissolve edges. Dissolve edges. I don't understand. Limited dissolve. No. Okay, I don't get it. I guess I'll just leave it in there. I shouldn't have done a fucking mirror modifier because clearly it's trying to screw me over. I guess I could just like delete half of this. I don't know. It's a pain though. And then I have to redo the UVs. I don't know why Blender has to be so stupid about everything. Alright, I'll just ignore it for now. Triangulate. Export as a PLY. I'm hoping I have this center correctly. I'm not sure that I do. If we don't, I guess we'll mess with the model in JavaScript. That way we can easily just figure out on the fly instead of re-exporting, re-importing, re-exporting, re-importing until it's right. Okay, so let's get it imported once. What am I doing? It's called merchant stand or something. Yeah. Let's call this merchant fabric stand because we're gonna have lots of different types, so let's just be a little bit descriptive. And eventually we'll compress these models. Do we need anything? We need rotations applied to them. Do we need anything else? I don't. Yeah, actually, yeah. I want these. And I want the size to be set to 1. And then we might end up doing decor and stuff on them. We actually probably will, because we could have the seasonal bunting, right? Go across the front here, go across the front here. So at Easter time, we'll have the Easter bunting, and then Halloween and Christmas and all that. We could put garland on them at Christmas automatically. Yeah, so we will eventually have decor on them. I'm not quite ready for that. But we can have all those automatically applied to this model, which is really nice. So in theory, this should automatically get added to the array of size 1 merchants. So can randomly choose between a bunch of different ones we create for that. And then inside of our village builder, I'm like spelling that wrong somewhere. And now I can't find it because I don't remember. I was like doing IU or something. I don't remember what I did wrong. Maybe it's not even called that. I don't know. Villages Boodler. I'm still gonna leave it like that. Boodler. Thanks, Virtuous. Yeah, I mean, we need a lot more work going on with it, but this is a, to me at least, a pretty basic thing that we have going on. What we're doing right now is on these little like alleyways. I want some little merchant stands. Really not alleyways, but you know, the sides of buildings. I don't like how plain they are. I also want to model, like, well, first of all, the sides of the buildings are too plain anyway. There should be at the very least windows on that. The reason I'm not doing that though is like for a side like this where it's connected, you wouldn't see those windows. So I may have to do that a bit different so it knows if the side is exposed. But also I'm gonna have some. Let me just like Google it to show it off better. What's in my mind. Let's see. Can I just type this in? I guess this is the best example of what I'm going for. Why is that gotta be so fucking small? Okay, but you see how like that building wraps around on the corners? I'm gonna have special detection for corners. It's not really the best example. Maybe something kind of like that. But yeah, on the corners of buildings, the ones that are exposed on both sides, I'm gonna have a lot of special models that are something like this. I wish I could know what to Google for to get good results. But basically, things like this, where the buildings have 2 sides. It wraps around. It has like 2 fronts almost. Stuff like that. Apparently, that's hard to Google. I'm probably just not using the right words, but hopefully I made my point clear enough. Okay, so in our village's Boodler, we want to see where we're doing the buffer merchant buildings, which is here. And that's if it's over. Okay, so that actually might work almost automatically, except I think I'm multiplying our placements. Our size is placement I. So let's go to buffer merchant building and see what we're doing with size. So that'll be properties.size is our layout size. Our layout size. I have to tweak how we're passing this through a little bit. Right, because for us, we're still doubling everything. So if I set this to 1, so it's not at all what I expected. 2? Maybe I have some special weird code happening for 1. Let's see what we're doing with layout size. Our options. Oh. Huh. Weird. That doesn't look like it's doing the right stuff then, though. Maybe I want to log some stuff here. Let's start logging. Because I don't fully understand what's happening with this. Okay. So if we place this size, which is size 2, I have too much shit going in console design. No, maybe not. That's for, oh, we want the one that's just being placed though. Hold on, shit. How am I gonna do that? Oh, it's annoying. It's really annoying. I guess it should be the last one, I think, in the array. Let's think 4? Maybe it wouldn't be the last one. I feel like it would be though. Huh. Get building model has all these different sizes. I really need to rewrite some of this shit, but overwrite size 1 if over 2. And then here we're saying should change to size 1 later. Yeah. So let's use size 1. Let's see if that's being generated correctly, because I'm not sure it is. It might be. Yeah. It's adding everything else to size 1. If it doesn't have that, let's look at what is in this array. Debug buildings. Not exactly what I want. Now, if I rebuild this in console real quick, it should add our small merchant site thing, I think. I hope. I put that in console. I don't see it though. But that should be size 1. Oh, well, I'm not calling this, am I? That was silly of me. But it still doesn't work. And when we paste it, I did pass that model in through console, did I not? Maybe I didn't. Oh, maybe I didn't. I never did. Okay, that's fine. That just means I need to throw this inside. And then if I do this, and I regenerate that list, and then we look at it. Yes, okay, that works. I don't really want those debug things. Maybe I'll get rid of those. That's for size 0 and size 1. Let's look at wherever the hell this is happening, which is probably in our models file. Yeah. Maybe we'll just get rid of these. I don't know if it wants size 0. I don't know if we're well, not really accidentally, but temporarily using that. I think it'll be fine though. So then we just need to figure out why is it that if I place this, it seems like it's using a larger size. It seems like it's setting it the size to 2 when our placement cursor I is at 1. Or actually, it's at 2. It's not even at 1. Okay, I gotta look at what's going on with those. Oh, I know why. I know absolutely why. If we go to our cursor sets. Right. Yep, So in here, let's reorder this so it makes a bit more sense. Not that it matters a whole lot. Our placement would be 1 here, and this would be 1, and this is our 1 by 1 building. And then 2, and then 4. Yeah, okay, that makes much more sense. I should just probably refresh. Yeah, let's just refresh. I'm also gonna go to Blender real quick and just make sure I modeled that front in the right direction. Okay, I did. Okay, don't need all that shit logging, but let's go into the builder. Which I forget what the function's called, so I'm trying to find it in console. There we go. The bootler function. Okay, so now in theory, if I'm lucky, we should be able to spawn some stands as soon as Chrome starts freaking out. Okay, let's see. If I set my placement cursor to, I think 1 is correct. Let me make sure. Yeah. Now in theory, I really hope, fingers crossed, we see some merchant stands when I start spawning these in. Not quite. It seems to be detecting them. Let's just see if I set that to 2 now. If we see the other one spawning in, make sure it's not completely broken. Okay, that works. Very good. Set back to 1. Okay, I mean, it's detecting it as 1, so it's like kind of correct, but there's some weird shit going on. Okay, let's look at our merchant model size 1 array, make sure it's in there. It is, that's very good. Merchant fabric stand. We shouldn't really have to do anything other than that. So it's for getting the building. We can console log in here. Possibly, oh, no, that'd be model list, right? Yeah, model list, it starts at 1. Then it runs all of these if our size. Oh, right. That's where I'm writing overwrite size. Okay. That makes sense. So let's just define this here. And then put this, else if this is size 1. That should help things a lot. I don't really fully understand why it wouldn't show us anything. I would think it would just show us. What did I do wrong? Whoops. I don't fully understand why it would show us nothing. I would think it would just show us a size 2, but maybe there's something that I'm not thinking through. Okay, did I break this? Okay, I mean, that was still one of the issues, but clearly not the only issue. But if size is 1, then we want to use that. Otherwise, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's actually not true. That wouldn't have done that. I lied because we don't have an else at the end. I was kind of thinking we just had else, but we were checking else 2, 3, 4, 5, not just else, and then set it. So that is a bit unnecessary. We could also get rid of these bits here because they're not doing that anymore. Whoops. I'm trying to learn fucking keyboard shortcuts on Windows and not easy. I'll still leave this line here. It's fine to have. It just isn't really doing a whole lot. Why don't kind of space it? I know it doesn't matter, but I like it like that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's console log. I want to especially console log if our size, if our size is 1, then I want to console log just the model name. And then we should hopefully see it log the merchant stand. Let's go to the other console log we have. That's at line 641. Should be around here. Okay, we moved it, but that's fine. All right, let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. I'm pretty sure it's logging correctly. Okay, so now here, okay, it's not getting to that log message, doesn't look like. So that's part of get building. We're saying if our size is that, then log that. It's not ever getting a size of 1. So why is that? So that's part of get building model. Get building model is in this buffer merchant building function, and we were making sure that size gets logged there. That seems correct. Oh, okay. So here we don't have an option for that. So now if we did that, yay, it works. They're much smaller than I expected. And I guess that actually makes sense because I wasn't thinking of the correct scale on these. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad scale. I want to make sure the rotations are the same. I'm pretty sure they are. Just need to change my cursor's index. So if we did this, yeah, so they're facing the same way, so that's good. All right, so they work. We can rotate that. So my idea was like, kind of have them along here, but against the buildings, which is okay. We can do that. And obviously a lot more variety. They need to be way taller. Way taller. And probably a little bit bigger at least. We could try to use that full tile, and that would maybe be okay. Let's change the scale of it a little bit. I was saying I would maybe do it in, I was gonna maybe do it in Blender, or in JavaScript and not Blender. I guess I still could do that, but I want to, since I'm not just scaling, I'm also going to do a translate on it. I don't really want to do it that way then. I could, it doesn't really matter. But I think we want it there. A 4x4 area, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Let's change our 3D cursor position. So on the y-axis, I think we're at -2. No, +2. Okay, so then we're just going to scale up a bit from there. And we definitely want it to be taller. I'm going to make, whoops, this part taller, but then bring this part possibly down a little bit. What's the best way to do that? I guess like this. Let's see how that looks in game. And then I want to like randomize the colors on the awning, this top bit. But this should be much better scale in the game. So we export that. And we don't even have to refresh. We just have to get the model in console, and it will work for our builder tool. It would see, that's why it's really nice to have this builder tool, because normally if we want to check these models and actually see them in game, we'd have to refresh because everything needs to get pushed back into the worker threads. But now that we're doing this dev tool, it all happens on the main thread, so it's all really easy to update models and everything, which is really, really, really nice. So let's do that. Stand. So in theory, if I go into here and paste this in, and then bump the microphone, there we go. Much better. Okay, cool. So now we can have little merchant stands, and I'm gonna have obviously way more variety with them. Do lots of fun things with it. I want to also probably next remodel these lanterns and have different types of lanterns because I hate how they look right now. We can have some lanterns that attach to buildings and stuff. That'd be fun. I guess I'll just throw a couple of these down every now and then. Whoops, pressing the wrong keys. I mean, they look a little too samey, obviously, because they're the exact same color and model, but long term, maybe they won't be. Now, this I'm a little bit curious about, right? Because here, like, let's just say we went all the way along, right? If we did it on both sides, right? Is that going to be too narrow feeling in game? Well, with a lantern, it especially probably would be, but just that might be okay. And if as long as we see now, some merchants will stick out more because we're going to allow it to fit within that red box, so some can come all the way out to this red line. That might make things a bit more awkward, but we can always modify our layouts so we don't have it quite like this. Sure. In theory, well, we need to build a curb thing as well. Let's do that soon. Let me add that to a note. So I'm going to forget stuff. I'm going to say we need to do it, and then I'm going to forget. Add, we're going to call them high curbs. And then what else was I saying I'm going to do? I don't remember now. See, that's why I got to write shit down. I was going to say I was going to do something else next. Oh, well. We also want to add yard block. Because it automatically tucks the yards in front of the buildings, but sometimes we're going to have them so it can wrap around the sides. So it's just going to be like a generic yard thing where it can just draw certain things, different decorations inside them. Oh, right. And then these empty areas I'm going to have for lots of different little tiny merchants. What would this look like? That might look okay. I mean, obviously it's going to look different when we have a lot more variety to these, but let's just see what this is like. It's all just test stuff, getting the village to look a little bit nicer over time. Okay, let's recenter this. Whoops, accidentally hit the road. I got overexcited with with my clicks. See, now there's no center here. It's not necessarily bad. Maybe we can just do it this way, because there is a center this way. I don't even know if I'm gonna like how this looks forever, but it looks obviously pretty shit right now because they're all the same exact color, same exact model. There's no different products being spawned on the little countertop thing. It's a bit awkward with how they interact with the wall, but I'm probably going to change how the wall works so it's always on the outside, so it might not interact as shit, hopefully. Okay, we definitely want to save this layout. And I definitely think this is an improvement. Maybe we'll have some stands over here. Maybe we'll have them more towards the center, because like they don't actually need to be against the wall, especially with other models. They may not actually look good against the wall. What's the best way to do this though? Maybe we'll just have them so they float out a little bit like that. And yeah, that's actually probably a good thing. Do I want them that close together? I don't really know. Maybe not. Maybe like that. We'll change it over time. We need to have other things that are just like decorations, like fountains and stuff. We need so much more variety. So many more things can happen. let's say something like that. Add village decorations. And I'll write different size blocks, and then I'll write different size blocks, and then maybe just as a reminder, like fountains. Only issue with fountains is we can't just have a static model for that. We need to have like particles and shit and shaders. I mean, I obviously want them long term, but it's not like I can just add a model and that just looks good. It's gonna need a lot of work. Okay, this is not terrible. We need to have benches spawning, which we did have at a time, and I still think I might have it enabled for some of these buildings, how they have things in front of them. I think I allow something like that. I might also modify one of these layouts so they can't have yards on some of the areas, because they don't really all need to have these little front yard areas. Some of the places I might just want to be so they're right on the street. And we do have that here, so like here these buildings don't have yards. These buildings the same. So it's not that bad, but I might want it to happen a bit more frequently. I'm not sure. Maybe like here? I don't know. Alright, well, let's export this so I don't do something stupid and lose what I'm doing. And this should be a bit easier to copy in now, because I can just click that copy key, and then it doesn't have those shitty quotes around it. I can just put it in the right spot. Yeah, just like that. Okay, and I might want to have like a first person-ish view for this tool eventually, because you know, I mean, I can see what the village looks like and it's fine, but I can't really tell fully what it's going to look like fully in game. Like I don't have my camera so zoomed out, so I can maybe just have a camera that's going to toggle to have the right FOV and the right, you know, distance that it's back from the player. I do want to add that curb, and also we need to fix a little bug where it actually doesn't look that bad in this builder. That's surprising. So in here, I don't see it, but again, that could be partially because of my camera being zoomed out. But in the actual world, there's like a weird little seam here where the like pathway to the building is a little bit higher than the rest of the road. So I gotta figure that out. All right, I need to do curbs. Do I want to do that immediately next, or do I want to? Yeah, let's do curbs, because then we can just get it. We don't have to keep refreshing and get it right in the game. Now to get this working at the right heights, the same model and everything, I should get the pathway model in Blender and take that data so we have the exact same colors, the exact same height, exact same everything. But I don't really remember where that model is and what it's named. It might be like sidewalk. Might be this. Oh god damn, it's gonna open in 2.8, isn't it? Yeah. I don't think it's this one anyway. Nope. Road corner, road edge, road planter, which I gotta figure out why that's not working. Road curb. I mean, this is kind of what we want, but not quite. I could look at what I have the model name in my game, but it's not really what I usually have the model name. The model name in my game and the model name in Blender are not very often the same. It could be path. Nope. Door or something. Doorway. Door. Okay. Door path. Blend. That's promising. Yeah. That's probably it. So let's save this as a new file, and we'll call this I'll call it a yard curb. And then I should need very little of this. Let me see. That'd be part of texture. I want the the vertex colors, I guess, aren't being used because it's using the rogue color, which is, I mean, they are being used, but they're not like the same colors. It's kind of like a black and white version of it because it ends up using the colors that we're choosing in JavaScript, so we can swap colors based off the town and all that. But we should need very little of this model data. I just wanted to grab this so everything's the exact same scale. So if we delete all of these vertices and figure out what the hell that is, and I think I want to scale this on the X to 0. So, what? Well, let's get rid of the orthographic camera because that's confusing. Is that doing 3D cursor? No. Bounding box. Oh, that's my viewport shading. I wish these didn't have like the same names. It's so confusing. Okay, now that's flattened. We'll do this one just in case it looks flat, but just in case. Okay, so we have the right heights, the right width, the right everything, just not the right position, not the right, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, length. Let's zero this out. Actually, no, it's not true. We need to keep one of these axes. The z-axis we want to leave alone. Yeah, and then I guess I'm gonna like do this visually. No, I can do it mathematically. So we want to grab this, which we want that on the y-axis. We want to move everything over that amount on the negative on the y-axis. Yeah. So it's this edge is lined perfectly with the y-axis, and then we want to grab the whole thing and move it over positive 2 units. Yes. And then we just want to make sure that this is 2 on the x-axis, -2 here and +2 here, so it's 4 units wide. And I think that's it. Let me see. We want it to be inside. Maybe that's not right. I need to move that. I might need to move this over the width. That's going to be on the outside. We could do the outside actually. That wouldn't be bad. But I think I want the inside. It doesn't really matter. Just inside would make more sense, yeah. And I think this is the outside. Let's spawn a plane. Oops. A plane at 0, 0, 0. Scale it up. Okay. Yeah, that's on the outside. Alright, not really too big of an issue. I just did that by accident. So that's y-axis is 4 point all this shit over. So we'd want to move it that amount over by the whole model. And that was, I need to have that number written down somewhere. Hold on. Okay. So it's 40052. So then G on the y-axis, I think, right? Hold on. GY. Am I not clicked? Oops, I'm not clicked in chat. Hold on. Okay. GY. Okay, so that's the axis. GY 0.4005. Okay, that's the wrong way. GY negative 0.4005. Yeah. Okay, I think that's what we want. So now if we just get rid of this, save this as our yard curb .ply. Get all this data set correctly. And then in, suppose this file is what we want. Let's look where we're doing stuff with roads. I think I might already have one called curb. Yeah, I do. I guess I'll just call it a yard curb. It's fine. Maybe road curb. Maybe that'll be a different thing. I don't know. But this is yard curb is kind of a better descriptor for it anyway. All right, so yard. Whoops, if we can spell yard. And we just need positions and colors, and we don't need UVs on it until we eventually maybe have some UVs on it, but not yet. The scales shouldn't need to be redone because that was redone in Blender now. So I'm just gonna comment out these lines. Oh, yeah, but this is the new one, right? So this one's gonna be called yard curb. Whoops, caps lock. There we go. There we go. So let's put this in console. It needs a placement ID. Unexpected identifier. Maybe here? No. Oh, whoops. Equals new bot. Oh, this fucking insert shit. That's what it is. I would never want that. Is there a way to just disable that in Windows? Guess I could like remap the key or something. Okay. So it has that model. Now we just need to tell it when to use it. So that would be part of inside here. We're doing stuff with roads and stuff. I really need to make some sort of constant series so I make sure we don't have any overlap, but I think 9 should be available because we're going 7, 8, 10. Maybe I skipped that on purpose because it wasn't available. I don't know. Let's just do it. What's the worst that could happen? Why do we have... Oh, no wonder the fucking planter's not working. Because it's in this conditional that says if it's in between these values. Alright, let's do 10. Let's add a 9. This is for what's called yard curb. Let's hope that those aren't being used. I don't think they are. Because yeah, I don't think so. No, I think we're safe. All right. So then in our sets, now we should be able to add our planters, which is very, very good. Let's just somewhere around here. What is yard like that? Oh, it's not really a yard, really. That's like a... I don't like the name of this. I'm gonna call this a block static or something. / yard detect. These names aren't doing anything really, just, you know, for me to use to look at. All right. So we have 9 and 10 now. 9, 10. I believe 10 was... This is our yard curb. And then 10 was our tree planter. I probably should just refresh, but I don't want to. So I'm going to try my best to do this all via console. So I guess it's probably safer to go outdoors first, even though it shouldn't matter a whole lot. And then paste this in, and then we will run this function. Okay, so far so good. And then if I set my placement cursor, I don't know what it's supposed to be for. I should have it so it logs. I gotta stop doing it this way. This is like so dumb. But we want our yard curve, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I believe. Need a do this a much better way. All right, let's just spawn this here and see if it shows anything. It doesn't. I think we put that model on console, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Okay. No, I did. Maybe I flipped them. So that's for 9. If it's, oh, I have to redefine this function in console? Yes. That makes sense. Okay, now, there we go. Perfect. So now there's these awkward bits. I wish I could zoom the camera a bit more for you so you can see, but there's these awkward bits here that don't really line up well. But now how come the height looks so off? We got to figure out what's going on with the height on those. But let's just paste these, put these in, so at least they're there. And then eventually we're gonna have to tell it to also spawn yard decorations in here. But I definitely want these here. Whoops. I don't know why a yard's not spawning here. I think it's yeah, I fucked up some stuff with how we placed that one. Okay, so we need to go back into the tool for let's have some comments here at least that tell me what number we're at, so I don't keep having to count it. Until I build some sort of better UI or something for this. Okay, so we want this one, which is for 5. So we want to set my placement I at 5. So you have all these little things that stop static spawns. And then we want to, I think 3. Yeah. Let's make sure we have the front of the building the right way, which we do not. Okay. So, that's still not showing a yard. Oh, maybe we placed a wall first. That's probably what it was. Yeah. So here we want to have this set to 5 again. Place this, and then place this. There we go. Now we have that. And then I guess the wall we need to redo, but let's just have it there so it's there. And that is 6. And that would go there, but the wrong rotation. There we go. Okay, and then we want a couple more yard curbs, which is 9. We want to make some tree planters now that we have that ability again. I just want to see if I'm missing any of these curbs. Now, they're a bit hard to spot because these blue borders. But this would be one here. Oh, fuck, I accidentally deleted that. It's annoying. It's actually okay to have that deleted, but I'd rather it just be consistent so I don't get confused later on. But since there happens to be other stuff spawned there, it doesn't actually matter. Okay, so we need one here. We might want one actually down the entire side, because otherwise it's going to be cut off weird. But we're not going to do that right now. It doesn't matter right this second. Okay, I think I at least got most of them. I'm very curious if the elevation will be right, because in this it's not. So in game it probably also won't be. Now I could also put those here, but I think they're going to look too high. Yeah, they definitely will, because they're supposed to look like you shouldn't really walk over them. I mean, I know there it doesn't look that bad, but the whole goal of them is so you shouldn't look like you could walk over them. because there's going to be a collider on them, so we don't want it to look like you can. So maybe we will end up raising them. We'll see. But this is not bad at all. Let's try the planters and see what happens. So let's get rid of, I don't really want it there, but it's okay. Let's see if this, oh, awesome. But not the right scale? Not the right scale though. Why is that? That's for our planter. Road planter. Oh, we don't have the scale here, that's why. Why do I not have the scales on these? Because they definitely should. Should road not have that? Huh. And that's probably inverse what we want. We want 4, 7, yeah, 4 sevens. Does road? Oh, road does have it. We just didn't put it on planter. Okay. Weird. So now if we put this in, whoops. We put this in console. Yeah, much better. We might have to expand it a little bit also. I guess those do need rotations. We might want to reset rotations on those. In fact, we can do that pretty easily. That's part of here. We just want to force the rotation on this. So rot 0, and that should force a rotation. The other ones probably do need rotations, but this one should not. Cool. I don't actually want one spawn there, but I'll spawn a couple in a more logical place. Like, I don't know, somewhere in here might be good. Maybe we can get rid of some of these. Let's set that on. And then let's see where that might make sense. Maybe here. That might be good. Maybe here? There's kind of an entryway here, and it can't be centered too well, so that kind of sucks. Maybe I will have to do a custom one that can get centered or something. I'm not really sure how I want to do that yet. Yeah, we have some issues with centering things with how this all works. I wouldn't mind something right against the building, but the trees will probably clip into the building weirdly, and we don't really want that. Try one there. Maybe here and here. That might work. I don't know. This one could actually be centered. It's just a bit awkward with where we have our lanterns and stuff, but maybe that's okay. Maybe this will be okay to do this. You know, that might be fine. At least we could center them. Maybe we will do another one here. And we'll do some inside here. Maybe on this side. I don't know if this will make it so this might not be the best, but I'm gonna do another one here, but I'm a bit afraid to do that. Let's do another one here maybe, and then maybe get rid of this one. Let's go back to the ID for our small merchant things. Right, that's 1. Maybe not there, maybe here. That might be okay. And then maybe have another one. Maybe we'll get rid of this one. And maybe we'll throw it here so it's all symmetrical. Yeah, maybe something like that. I mean, it's not actually super symmetrical. I guess we'd have to bring that out one more if we want to be actually symmetrical. I guess we could do that. But I'm going to change the pattern of it a little bit. So that would have to go here. I'm not so sure I like what I'm doing with these small merchants. I don't think I do. Maybe we can have them all around the planters or on both sides of the planters or something. I don't know. Maybe just that. Let's just start with that. So they'll be next to a tree. I know we can't see the trees, but you know, everywhere there's these circles, there should be a tree. Also, these are rotated wrong because I still didn't update my tool in console to do that. So that's wrong. And then, oh fuck, it's actually, they could be 100 degrees, 180 degrees off, and I wouldn't know, which is a bit annoying. I probably should have just refreshed, but it's too late. Okay, I didn't see any of these in game yet, just in the tool with the whole mini merchants and the new curbs and the planters and everything. So let's export this. It's 24 fucking kilobytes for these layouts. I definitely need to compress them. And I wonder if it's actually more than that, because I don't know how it's logging that, if it's as the string length. I guess it should be as a string. So it might be okay, but yeah, I want to compress these. All right, so that's part of our layouts. Here, paste in our new layout, and we should be good. All right, let's hard refresh and see what this looks like in game. I'm expecting the road curbs to be not the right elevation, which kind of sucks. What else am I expecting? I guess that's it. I guess that's the only issue that I'm expecting to break. Well, I guess on text message. Okay. So planters, they don't have the trees in them. It's surprising. Also, is my save data fucked up? Because I wasn't here, was I? This is my old save data. Something's fucked up with save data. I gotta look at that. What about these curbs? I think the curbs are working fine, probably. Or they are the wrong height. But like the reason this bit sticks out on this edge is just because I probably don't want to be modeling the door that close on the buildings. Maybe we'll eventually use some special code. Okay, so they are basically working. They're basically in the right spot. They're just a little bit too high. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, but it does look like the bug that we had somehow, I don't remember fixing it. It automatically fixed itself. Where these roads didn't connect super well with the pathways, but like automatically fixed. All right. Yeah, and that's why we might want to bring it in for where the curb placement is for that. Maybe is my position getting moved? Oh, save data is working. That's not the issue. The issue is that I'm getting teleported if I refresh outside of the thing. Okay, so I missed a curb there. And these curbs are too high. The stands, the scale is pretty much right. I might want them to be a little bit taller. They're clipping because I'm wearing bunny ears, but if I weren't wearing bunny ears, it wouldn't be clipping. So yeah, the scale's not that bad. The models don't look that bad, but I think what I will do is I think I'll have it so this post goes all the way up and then it like makes a bit of a triangle top maybe. I don't really know. Probably gonna modify it. Well, we could have different types, I guess. So like one could look like this, and then we could have a just have variety. Have one where the pole goes all the way up and then has like a triangle top. Lots of different things we want to do. I tempted to make it, I guess maybe Easter as a season. Yeah, we're in the taiga biome. That won't be so bad. So yeah, I'm tempted to make it into Easter. so then we can have like the awnings, not the awnings, the garlands and stuff spawning on these, and we'll see how bad that looks. At this scale, it might be a bit awkward because only like we can't have two go across, probably just one in the center, which is probably fine. It'd be nice if we had two strands go across, which will work with some merchants actually. If we're using the full 4x4 length, then it would work. What is? Oh, we can right. We can go inside these because it's not treating these any differently. So these are still buildings. That's pretty funny. We can go inside this whole stand. Look what's inside the stand. An entire enormous building. All right. So obviously that's something that we need to fix. But I like the layout. I wish the trees were spawning in. I gotta figure that out. Even here with just one model, it doesn't look that bad to me. Alright, so let's fix the curb height issue, which I don't know how that is broken. The only way I can think of that being broken is that the Blender model I used was wrong. Or maybe we're doing something weird with these pathways. Door path. No, we're not adjusting the height. So let's look at the height, right? So this is our... So we're doing negative 2.7. Where's our positive one? I guess 8.997 or 0.8997 rather is, I don't know, that's not right. That's X. So it's X, Y, Z, X, Y. Okay, 0.4 is our door path, right? So then if we look at our yard curb model, okay, 0.4. So it's the models are correct. It's how they're being used. So now if we go into the village file, look at where we're doing stuff with the path, door path, I'm calling it. Okay, maybe I have special code for door path. Let's bring it down further. Right, I guess that would make sense. Okay, so here we're not doing any sort of Y adjust, but maybe we are on the other side of things. So now if I looked at the yard curb, let's look at this line. I really should, no, those are the same seemingly. I can do some shit code and just do a manual Y adjust on those, but I know I shouldn't, so I won't. Oh, what's this? This would be the X and Z positions. That wouldn't be Y. That wouldn't be affecting Y. That's making it so it clamps the model to the size of the building. I kind of want to change this code a little bit to make sure all of them are clamped within. Yeah, why are we doing it just on these? Can't we just clamp the entire model? And then we wouldn't get, if I could find that again in this village, we wouldn't get the weird sticky out bits that I hate. That happens pretty rarely. If I'm more careful with my house generation, it wouldn't really be that bad. But this little bit here, in theory, if I keep doing that by accident. If I got rid of this conditional, because I don't see why we couldn't just clamp the entire model, then that would work. Positions K, that's if our X, right, if we're checking if it's over 3. So, we're already kind of doing that, but let me clamp it to whatever these clamp values are. Let's get rid of this conditional and see if things are improved with that. So let's just refresh right here and see if this little bit still sticks out. Okay, that did fix that. So I think we should be good. We do get awkward bits like this, but I think that will only happen with this particular model. I think this is the only one that's that close to the side. So I just need to move it over like not even half a unit, and then we should be okay. Yeah, I think I prefer doing that, clamping like that. Okay, yeah, but we still have the weird height adjust shit, which I don't see where that's breaking. Are we moving down our houses somewhere? So we're changing. All right, I gotta make this more than one line, right? Let's do it after, I guess here. I guess the colors are matching, so that's good. Do one here, and then let's do another one here. Okay, that's a bit better, a little bit better than like a really, really long line. Okay, so we're doing path X, path Z, and then our properties block Y plus 0. And then if we go over to our what's that thing called? Yard curb. Let's do the same thing where it says not super duper long. So it seems the same to me. I don't know why that one's separated, but it seems the same to me. So like, what the hell? Could it be a scaling? Oh, it could be a scaling thing. But we're not scaling either one, are we? Maybe we are. And I don't want to be scaling them on the y-axis. Yeah, that's probably hopefully what it is. Yeah, that would make sense. That's almost definitely what it is. All right, at least I figured that out. So that's yard curb. Yeah, we're not doing scale here, but we are on the other one, the door path. Yeah. No, we're not. Oh, what the fuck? I'm not passing through scale there. .4. Maybe I'm passing through the scale in somewhere else. And this is our yard curve. I should put these models next to each other. There's no scale here either. And we made sure all the y's, the max y is 0.4. I mean, if I want to be lazy about this, I can just throw in a manual adjust somewhere and it'll be fine. But I don't really want to be lazy. I want to do this the right way. All right, let's go back to door position and look at scale now. Door path. It's not the right file. All right, so this one, our scale, we're not setting any scale through, okay. And then in door path, right, we are scaling it down. Now, we have to decide if we prefer this scale or this scale. I guess, I mean, I don't want it to look like you can walk over it, but at the same time, I don't want it to block our decoration. So let's just go into this model and scale it on just the y-axis half, because that's what we're doing with the other one. Okay, got it all figured out. Okay, why are tree planters not showing up? Also, there's some weird stuff with culling like that. Eventually, we gotta figure that one out. But why are tree planters not showing up? Well, the planter is, the tree is not. So that would be planter tree, road planter, tree planter, buffer planter tree is this file, and we're grabbing an oak tree, we're scaling it down, and then we're buffering it into what should be our static buffer. Okay, that might make sense, although it should be for the highest LOD, so it shouldn't make that much sense. If we were doing on the low LOD, it would maybe make sense that it would break. Let's make this again so we can read what the hell is happening inside this. Okay. So we're buffering, our parent buffer is static. We have a scale, we're grabbing an oak tree. It should require the model if it needs it automatically in this function, so it shouldn't be that. Setting force, model name should be fine. LODs, it's fine. Maybe it's a different ID. Oh, is that the ID we were using? I'm not actually sure. I feel like it wasn't. I don't think it was that. It was 10. Yeah, so we just have to update that. I guess I was doing that before I was doing something with buildings, maybe? I don't know. 10. We need to have an array of these IDs so I make sure we don't have collisions. Let me go to my notes too. So this is like, this should be 100% done now. I didn't actually test it, but I'm just gonna trust that it is. This is like, I don't know, 50% done. Okay, so let's refresh. Now, I really wish we could randomize our seeds in the village builder tool, but I couldn't figure that out, so maybe we'll try to do that today. Also, I don't need to be consoling that merchant fabric stand shit, so that's on village line 262 or 626. Dyslexia, man. 626. Whoops. Can't use my keyboard. 626. On village. Huh? Am I in the wrong village file? Oh. What is going on? Why can't I use my keyboard? I can't type. I don't like this keyboard. I like my other one, but my other one freaks out. I guess I need to buy a new one, but I don't want to. I don't even know if they make a nice keyboard like I like my other one. I know people want me to get like a nice mechanical one, but I don't know if I want that. Okay, let's just look at what this town looks like now. Oh, I guess I should refresh. Now we have the, hopefully the trees buffering in. And that should make the village look a lot nicer. And I could also test out my lantern placements at nighttime, since I can't do that currently in my tool, and see how much it's lit up. Okay, so as soon as static starts coming in, we should see a tree here. Hopefully. Shit, maybe not. Huh. Did I not save? Why would that not work? I guess we can log when that's firing. Placement ID is 10. We can log inside here. See if that's firing. We don't have to refresh. We can just do it inside the dev tool. So we'll have this here, and then we'll console log when this is firing. Right, and let's see when this rebuffers if this is firing in our tool. I'm not expecting to see it in the tool because it uses a different thing, but I just want to see if it's firing. Okay, it is not. So why is that? And it's not meeting this conditional. And our placement I should be that. Oh, under equal 10. Right. Okay, that makes sense. So oh, that's what I was doing. I was doing a separate placement for the planter part of the road and the tree. You know, that's not actually a bad thing. And what was the old number on that? I don't remember now. Hold on, let's undo a bit. It was 6. Okay. That's not actually a bad thing. Maybe I want those separated because I'll have more control if I want to do, I don't know, not a tree inside those, but I still want to have that planter hole generate. I don't know if I'm going to want that long term. This is our tree. And then maybe also, okay, yeah, actually maybe that's not bad because we could have different types of places to spawn stack trees. So sometimes you might want to, like in an open yard or something, spawn trees that are separate from the planter and stuff. Yeah, that might be an okay thing. The rotation, I don't think we need rotation on that, on either one of these. All right, let's try that out. I guess yeah, let's just refresh probably. And I don't want to be console logging. Okay, let's just refresh. So now we should hopefully see. Oh, wait. No, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have refreshed yet. It's okay. I didn't make the placements for the trees. And I can't actually visually see them, which kind of sucks. But it won't let me place more than one down. But in the tool, it doesn't render any static stuff. I maybe want to change that. Probably do want to change that. I won't be able to see the trees. I'll just have to know that they're there in the placement data. Okay. So we want to change our cursor eye to 11. And then on these blocks, I want to add trees. What the fuck? Is it not 11? Did I do something weird? 11 is tree. Our placement is 6. Placement for 6 is... Oh, maybe... Hold on. I might know what I did wrong, which is why we should build an array. God damn it. So here... Right, if it's within there, yeah, that's annoying. I need to build a fucking array for this shit. Alright, let's just use a stupid ID for it. Oh, and I didn't change it back here somehow. I'm making stupid mistakes. Hold on. Let's separate the stuff for layout active. Maybe. If our layout is active, then run these bits. This isn't really pertaining to what we're fixing right now, but now that I'm trying to clean this up. And then here, let's run this. Let's have a completely different ID because it's within this range, and I don't know, just do it. We need to make an array. It's really dumb how I'm doing this. Let's just make this, I don't know, fucking 25. I don't think it's being used, whatever. And that's our tree. And I shouldn't really call it planter tree. But whatever. Does any of this really fucking matter? Gotta build a stupid array. Sets. Alright, this is for tree. This is now going to be for 25. Okay, this all makes sense now. Should build this array sooner rather than later. I'm just being really lazy. Then we need to recall the builder, and then we want to set our ID to 11, and then now, yeah, now it has trees. We can't see them, but I know that they're there. I hope. I will know as soon as I export it and look at it in game. I'm probably gonna miss some. The good thing is I can't double place them, so if I just keep going over some that I've already done, there's no downside. I probably should put a planter over there. Okay, yeah, I don't remember for sure if I did these. I don't think I did, but if I did, it shouldn't allow me to do double placement, so we should be okay. Okay, and I don't think console is rebuffering for these, so we can be pretty sure, yeah, that I did those ones. Okay, so we should be good with that. We're going to JSON stringify it. We're going to grab this and then look at what we're doing, layouts, and then paste this in here. And then we will do a hard refresh because I really want to see what the trees look like inside the village. Especially inside that little merchant, like the little merchant stand area with the trees. Oh, I know what I wanted to write down for my notes. Model better lanterns, and then also, oh, we have to fix string lights, and then also I want to, part of model better lanterns, I want to have our like a black looking steel iron one, so black regular one, but then also like maybe ones that come, well, an off-center one I probably want, but then also maybe one that like is attached to buildings, but that's going to be a bit difficult to try to ensure that because the buildings are dynamically changed, right? I'll just write attached to, I don't think I'm spelling it right, but whatever, building one. Probably never going to do that, but it's okay. All right, do we have trees? What the fuck? Why don't I have trees? So 25 is to buffer the plants. Definitely shouldn't, there shouldn't be any sort of collision with that. And then our, oh, did I forget to set my placement I? I thought I did that right, but maybe I didn't. Oh, I accidentally typoed it to 15. All right, whatever. I got something I gotta do, so I'm gonna be back later. Probably in like not that long. At most an hour, but maybe only like 10 minutes. So I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Thank you for watching.